Well, hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. And today, this is our eCom Sellers podcast. I have with me my co host, my partner in crime on this journey.
Kelly, the eCom Mom Ward.
And Kelly and I come to you every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, although it is subject to change because we are looking for a different time slot. But in any case, we're here to share with you e-commerce news, tips, and more what's happening in the e-commerce space. So Kelly says we have a lot of news today. We're gonna have a brief conversation. We're gonna get into the news. Today's topic is what you need to get. Our tip for the day, is what you need to do to get ready for the Q1 or Q3, Q2. We're gonna cover them all. Well, how you need to finish strong for Q1, what you need to do to get ready for Q2, and then some of the things you need to think about for Q3. So that's our tip. So we hope you'll stick around after we talk about the news. But in any case, Kelly, what has been happening with you?
Well, this weekend it was my husband's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy
So
birthday to you.
yep, I get the joke with him that he's older with me for 2 months and 3 days. So
Well, happy birthday.
yep, I didn't do much. He bought himself a new desk for his computer, so that was kind of like his birthday gift. And then um I made him a banana pudding poke cake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's a
good.
good cake. It's so good. I'm like fighting myself from getting that fridge and get some more. I'm like, nope, I don't need any more. I mean, I don't want to. I just got into these smaller clothes. I don't want to, you know.
She's like, I don't want to go back to the other size.
Mm-mm.
Well, a couple of things. One, daylight savings is hit, and so I look sleepier than normal because of that. Because we all lost an hour here in the U.S. I mean, like we're the only ones that celebrate this stupid daylight savings. Anyway, someday it will go away, but right now we have all lost an hour, and so I look like I'm sleepy.
Unless you
Um,
live in Arizona or Hawaii, they're the only two
that's
states that don't do the daylight savings
And the
time.
rest of the world doesn't do it either. Like the majority of the world does not do daylight savings. So anyway, stupid thing. Second, um, this is spring break for us, and so the boys are at home. Interesting week ahead, but our goal is to finish cleaning out the storage. So we're gonna see how that goes.
First time in a
Three.
long time, I didn't have to worry about spring break because I don't have any kids in school anymore. So.
Oh, yeah, we're in spring break, so we're gonna be working on the storage unit and getting some stuff reorganized inside the house. Plus, we're getting ready for the especially needed Easter event, and so I've got eggs everywhere, and donations for eggs, and rotating eggs in and out of the house, and people dropping off supplies. So it's just insane. It's insane. So I stay busy, very, very, very busy. But in any case, I mean, and I think the last thing is my son did a church camp for the start of spring break. So hopefully his energy and his spirit will be good the entire time. Because, teenagers can be so much fun. I'm being sarcastic. I really mean trifling. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the news. So, Kelly, the floor is yours.
All right, we'll start with Amazon. They're going to add a diverse on-model imagery to some detail pages for better representation for Amazon apparel. So that will start on March 31st, and there's mixed reviews from sellers. Some don't like the idea that Amazon will be putting imagery on their product that they don't have to say any word on it.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and others like the idea of the diverse representation. I can see, I would like, if I was selling clothing and stuff, I would like, well, could you like send me the pictures for me to
First.
approve before, you know, because that's your product, but that's going to start March 31st, and it doesn't cost the sellers anything. It's not you know, actually, they're not going to charge you anything for it. It's amazing. um, and, we would talk about the Amazon trying to do deliveries with drones, but they're having a lot of troubles with regulations and just not a lot of demand for it. So it really hasn't gotten off the ground. The drones are stuck on the ground.
Pun intended.
Hmm. eBay, a lot about eBay was talked about the EIS program, which is their international shipping program, which is taking over their global shipping program.
Mhm.
They,
I still call
the,
it global shipping, just so you know. But anyway, go ahead.
yeah, it's a little different, and there was a lot of discussion they had on their monthly discussion this week with the sellers between the sellers and eBay. There's a couple articles on the e-commerce bites that you can go and delve deeper. Because if I talked about it, we would be here long time. So there's a bunch of information that you can read about the program because we have enough news as it is. Bonanza. And really, Bonanza, I remember that one, kind of every once in a while I'll get a sale. Well, it has a new owner. And this new
Really?
owner plan, yeah. And this new owner plans to make the platform more marketing focused and plans to embrace social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram to help
Okay.
with sales and such. So if you're thinking about closing your Bonanza closet, I don't know what they call a closet or booth or stump,
It's Booth. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I used to have a Bonanza phone a long time ago, and then I turned it off, and so I might pop it on, because I always add a platform every year. I might go back, so we'll see how that goes.
All right.
PayPal is being sued for the December data breach that happened. We talked about that, and they came out in January that they had that data breach. But then there's two complainants suing them that claims that they failed to comply to FTC guidelines and with industry standards, and they're seeking to make it a class status. Suing, so that other bunch of other sellers who were affected by this data breach could join in. So you might be hearing about that. Stripe, if you use Stripe for sales, there could be hiking international payment fees from
Yeah.
1% to 1.5%. And also
Hmm.
to announce that they will no longer refund the $15 fee it charges sellers who win disputes. And these changes will go in effect June 1st. There was a couple other minor changes that they added too.
I did not remember seeing that they're not going to refund because we use Stripe and
Hmm.
the $15. So now I got to go read that.
Yeah. This is the big one I'm going to talk about that is was been all over the news. I mean, like it's being covered by like the New York Post and everything. If you heard about the Silicon Valley Bank, there was a run in the bank this week, and there was like a collapse of the bank. And Etsy uses that bank. So Etsy has been sending out that information that they are going to be delaying
Payouts.
payouts to sellers. I don't haven't checked my email to see if I know I made a couple of sales this weekend on Etsy, so I'll have to see what goes on because people use those to pay for shipping and supplies. There was one person who stated that they had to delay a shipment of supplies because they weren't sure if they're going to be able to get the payment, their payout from Etsy to pay for that had planned to use to pay for supplies. So yeah, so this is
Yep.
you have to see what's on the up and up, and make sure you always have enough extra in your bank, to help
Or
cover.
that you, well, you that you follow. They were talking about their most of these businesses that are impacted. They didn't. They had it above the 250,000 in FTC. So
Hmm.
they were explaining why, like, us regular consumers, like, we split out our money to the 250 FTC limit, but businesses typically don't do that. So they'll have 2, 3, 4 million, $1 billion, and it's common for them to do that
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that they're not anticipating something like this at all, and because of the way that they operate. Like, most businesses don't run their business off of like 20 different banks or 30 different banks. They just don't.
No.
Big businesses, not small people like us.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right. ShipStation. ShipStation's be launching a tool for sellers who drop ship. This dropship manager, they didn't really go too much on what it really does. They're just saying, they're coming out with this tool. But the dropship manager will cost sellers an additional $150 per month and 3 cents per shipment that for anything that exceeds 1,000 monthly shipments. Yeah, I can't talk.
Okay.
There's also a new bookkeeping solution for sellers being developed by one of the original co-founders of Outright, which later on became GoDaddy Bookkeeping. Yeah,
Okay.
because he was not aware that they were just going to shut down the GoDaddy Bookkeeping and left all these people in a lurch. And so
I'm excited about this. We're gonna have to follow that one.
it's called Seller Ledger, and it's
Okay.
currently in beta. You can go to the
Okay.
Seller Ledger site and get on the beta. It's free right now. It currently integrates with only eBay and plans to
Okay.
add Etsy next year,
Okay.
which and it's free during beta trial testing, but will charge based on transaction volume, starting with $10 per month, which is a lot more affordable than other places.
Okay.
And you can see more details at the Seller Ledger website.
I'm trying to find Seller Ledger. I'm doing a Google search to try and find. Okay. I'm gonna find it. I don't see it just in regular Google. But anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, you might have to just. They had a link to it at in the e-commerce bites article.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna pull it up, see if I can find it.
All right. Another thing I saw that was interesting was there's a shortage of Girl Scout cookies
Yeah.
due to supply chain issues
Okay.
with the baker, and there was a power outage at one of the plants due to weather. And they're seeing, so this is causing some of the Girl Scout troops to have lower than usual sales because they don't have the cookies. But they're also seeing people putting like the new raspberry flavored cookie up on eBay for like $35 a box. Yeah.
Yep. I saw that. I saw that. A run on the Girl Scout cookies, just like a run
Yeah.
on the banks. But anyway, yeah.
And one last thing, because I'm a nurse, this hit me. I thought it was very interesting. Best Buy is setting up an in-home hospital care with a new deal with Atrium Health. They're gonna have he got that geek squad comes out, fixes computers and everything. Well, they're gonna come and set up like a virtual hospital room basically in some people's homes, so they can have their heart monitored and their O2 sats and vital
Doctor
signs
visits. Yeah.
monitored and by nurses and doctors, and they don't have to go into the hospital. It started like during COVID, when during the pandemic when there wasn't any room for everybody, and so they're trying to keep it going on. And I thought this is kind of like, I mean, it's almost kind of like, well, I'm a home health nurse myself, and
Uh-huh.
that's where I go. But I'm in the patient's room, at their house, but I'm with them for a 12-hour shift. And, you know, if I need to call the doctor, I can just call the doctor. Yes. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, I thought I remember seeing something similar. Maybe it is that also helps with like doctor visits again for people that can't get out. Like you're going to have a virtual doctor's visit because they can check on.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't see about like a doctor's visit. There's more like they said
just
a in
monitoring.
home hospital room.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Hmm. And
Pretty
that's
cool.
the news I had.
All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if I can successfully do this. Is your doggy throwing stuff around?
No,
Okay. All right.
he
Let's
came
see.
over here, and I guess he decided that since the couch was kind of filled up, he wasn't going to sit with me.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have to wait for a second. This is crazy. So I'm getting Melon is non-responsive. So let me just go to one of my other screens real quick and see if I can come back and get Melon to respond. Okay. So let's go ahead and share my screen. Maybe. Let me just tell y'all, I don't recommend Melon.
Mhm.
You already know I don't like the tool. Where our subscription or whatever our free year is up, and I cannot wait. So we're gonna switch to another tool. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of Melon at all. Yeah, I like StreamYard. Just gonna tell y'all. Uh, there we go. All right, let's talk about what's going on. Okay, so the first article is from Fortune magazine or Fortune, and I thought this was interesting. I actually mentioned this in our listing party this week, but this article about remote workers are adopting a new practice called body doubling, which means that other people, strangers watch them work online. Now, here's the deal. You're not sharing your screen. We did this years ago where, I mean, like before this became a thing. So years ago when I first started in the e-commerce space, what we would do is we would get online and we would list for a full hour, not talk to each other, just kind of check in the morning, go ahead and get your listings done. Me and my business partner would do that. I might have some music playing in the background. She might have something playing in the background, and we weren't talking to each other. We were just online there to keep each other accountable and to support each other. And I think, the fact that that's there, it actually does help with your productivity when you feel like, okay, I'm not getting stuff listed, I'm not getting stuff done, I'm not being consistent. So sometimes you do need a buddy. Now, I don't know that I would call it body doubling because you're not really doubling your body or anything like that, and it's not the invasion of the body snatchers. So I don't know why it's called body doubling, but this is not a new thing. This is a thing that for those people who work from home, we've done this in the past, like years ago, where again we would just be online, not necessarily talk to each other. We have a scheduled time, like if it was at 9 o'clock in the morning, we would join a link and we would all work online, not talk to each other, just list, and then okay, I'm done, I got this many listed, and we would hang up. So if that's something you feel like is going to help you long term, bigger picture, to be more productive, to be more consistent, I encourage you to do it. I don't necessarily agree with the term body doubling though, so I'm just telling you.
You know, I've always done listing hangouts with
Yeah.
other eBay. Yeah, I do them on YouTube. But we talk. We're sitting there. There's one I go. There's one. It's every Tuesday morning, and it's like four or five guys, and we're just sitting around talking. There's people in the chat. There's probably usually about 20 something people in the chat. I don't go online on the camera. I'm just in the chat with them, but we talking with each other, and sometimes we're helping each other out. Oh, I'm not sure what this is, or you know,
What
so
category do I put this thing in? What do you think I ought to price this for? I can't find the dimensions. What's another way in which I can get the dimensions? Like that kind of stuff. This is like not a new trend. But evidently, for remote workers, maybe they never thought about that. But sellers have done this for years.
oh
As
yeah,
Kelly said,
so
they got, yeah, it's group hangout for listing, and then we would have listing parties, which is another one, and then we would do the accountability check in. So any of those models work. If you think that's something that you need to help you on your e-commerce journey, we could definitely do a listing hangout. We used to do them before. We can do them again.
mhm. Yeah.
All right. So the next article comes to us from The Verge. And for those people that are influencers, like people were getting paid for TikToks, and evidently the payments for TikToks is about to change, or the payout for it. And then people were getting paid by Instagram Reels and Facebook Stories, and now the payout is about to change. So, just giving you that heads up, if you're a person that's using social media, don't let that discourage you. If it's driving traffic to your listings, if it's getting you more sales, then continue doing that. But just know that the payouts for Reels and the payouts for TikTok, if you're an influencer or you have enough in views, XYZ, whatever the number is, or you have enough followers and views, the payout structure is changing. Now, I pay attention, but don't pay attention to this stuff. My son probably pays attention to it a little bit more than I do. So as I get more information, I'll tell you. But again, um, what the thing I want, the takeaway for you is that if you're an e-commerce seller, don't let this discourage you at all. Continue doing what you're doing, because these platforms do bring traffic to organic traffic to your listings, and you don't have to pay the money for it. So just saying, if you can go viral, it helps. All right, so Kelly was talking about a couple of the articles from eCommerce Bytes. She talked about the international shipping program. Again, to me, it's still the global shipping program. But anyway, international shipping program. You can go and read the article here under eCommerce Bytes. Um, then she talked about the Etsy payouts. So if you want to read that article a little bit more, you can click on that under eCommerce Bytes and go ahead and research that a little bit further. And then she also mentioned about Bonanza, which I'm definitely going to look into this. Hopefully, they're not going to make any drastic changes to those people who are using Bonanza to organically get presence on Google Shopping. That's the one thing that I appreciate about Bonanza, is that if you're a person who you don't want to go through the process of dealing with Google Shopping, this is one way to get your listings visible through Bonanza, through its like promotional percentage structure. And so we did a couple classes on Bonanza. We'll probably come back and talk about it again after I take a look at this and just see what this potentially is going to look like. So I am excited about whatever they're getting ready to do with Bonanza, because Bonanza does have a lot of potential to help you to get organic views to your listings, especially naturally through Google Shopping. And then she talked about Seller Ledger. So I'm excited about this. I'm definitely going to sign up. So I went to Seller. I finally found it. Went to Seller Ledger. This is what the site looks like. And I'm actually going to sign up, and we're going to see what this looks like. And hopefully in the future, when we have fireside chats, maybe we can talk to or connect with the company and talk about what they plan on doing or what this is going to look like, long-term, bigger picture. So they don't have a contact us at all. You can tell that this was very generic, very thrown up, and that's fine. As long as it works and it does what we need it to do, that's really all that matters. So if you want to go check out Seller Ledger, go check out Seller Ledger. We'll definitely be playing with it. She mentioned the pricing. So if you're a person that was using GoDaddy, bookkeeping, and you want to, check this out, I would encourage you to go do it. See what happens. All right. So the next article comes to us from Digital E-commerce, where you also have e-commerce news. The article that I wanted to talk about, well, there's a couple of things. So they're talking about the Gap's sales are down by 10%. I know that for my kiddos, like we buy a bunch of stuff through Old Navy, which is in that Gap family of stores, but they say that their online sales have dropped by 10%. I think online sales have dropped for several of the stores. There's been a lot of people that have been unemployed, and so that affects a lot of things. That's going to impact your ability to spend money because you're hoarding money at this point. Um, they also have a couple of articles, although I think we covered these before, about Amazon's revenue. Their e-commerce sales dropped by 2% in Q4, although we still talk about that e-commerce passes 1 trillion in annual, and e-commerce is going to continue to go up. I can remember when we first started with DSD, which eventually became Infinii, and they were talking about that e-commerce was going to be $1 trillion, business. And so that's the reason why you needed to learn how to sell online. So I just encourage you to come out, check out these articles. This is on Digital E-commerce. 360. Go check it out and use that information to help you. And go let us know what you think of Seller Ledger. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Maybe give it a 30-day run, come back and give it a review, or 60-day run and come back and give it a review, and let you know how it works out. But it appears to be a little more affordable. So it's going to be based off of your transactions per month, which I still think is really affordable. Okay. It's in beta. Keep that in mind. All right. Anything else you want to add to that, Kelly?
Um, no.
Nope. All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and transition into our e-commerce tips. And so our e-commerce tip is going to be 100% focused on things you can do to finish Q1 strong, because you still have time. You're at the halfway mark of Q1, and to start Q2 strong. Here's some things that might help you to be able to do both. So I'm going to let Kelly start with number one.
Products that sell in Q2. So it's going to have to be summertime. And everyone's planning, end of the school year. You got Mother's Day coming up. And the weather's changing. So if you do clothes, you're going to start, you follow what's going on in the stores, what's happening in stores. They're putting out swimsuits right now. So if you have swimsuits, better get them up, because people are getting ready to go on those cruises, or to the beach, or to the pool with their kids. So, um, put out the clothes and the outdoor activities. Baseball is about to come up. It's spring training right now for Major League Baseball, so that means that they're going to people are going to start wanting to wear their teams, because football's done, basketball's but ready to go to their playoffs soon. So now everyone's going to watch baseball.
That's true. So yeah, so you should be thinking about sourcing and selling those products that are going to sell in Q2. You need to be doing that now. That's something you need to be doing now. So Kelly already mentioned it, but you need to be sourcing and selling those products that are going to sell in the spring. Now, some of you are private label sellers, so you're not really thinking about this model, because again, retail arbitragers think about this. People who do thrifting think about this. People who are buying wholesale think about this. But people who have private label products, they don't always think about this. And so I just want to encourage you and invite you, whatever your private label product is, there might be an opportunity to put a Q2 spin on it, to put a spring spin on it. Sell something with your product, that bundle it together with something that is spring related, to get more organic and natural traffic to it. Maybe reduce your ACOS expenses, that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying, think outside the box and start sourcing and selling. Sourcing those things to sell in the spring. Source them now, list them now, find them now, so that you have the opportunity to get some sales. Next.
Like I said, summer's coming up. I guess I went ahead. I didn't check the slides before. But outdoor activities, the beach. You got planning for summer vacations. And people might be planning to have their kids do educational activities during the summer too, to keep them from regressing for what they learned over the school year. So you can do little educational bundles, road travel bundles, because the kids are rewarded in the car, and the only kid, their tablet dies, and then they're,
Yeah.
I'm
They act like
bored.
they
Are we
don't know how
there
to
yet?
they act like they don't know how to think without an electronic device. I'm like, oh my God, just look out the window. Like, you'll survive. Look out the window.
We didn't have any of all that. We learned how to use our imagination. So
Oh, it's so funny. Anyway, but yeah, think about sourcing those things that acquiring them now, listing them now, products that are going to sell in the summer, list them now, source them now. Okay, so the next one, Kelly mentioned some of these. Think about sourcing and listing now those things that are major holidays or events that are coming up in April, May, and June. So she already rattled off, Easter, and you got Mother's Day, you got Father's Day, you got graduation from school, you got Cinco de Mayo. These are all U.S. ones. There's a whole bunch of international ones that we don't always think about. But this is the time right now, if you want to finish Q1 strong and you want to start Q2 strong, right now, start sourcing those products, start finding those products, start pulling them out of your death piles. Right now, start listing those products right now, whatever they are.
Okay. Review your Q2 and Q3 stats and data from, I guess, the previous year. See what worked for you last year and expand on that, and what didn't work, and maybe, learn from that. It's always a learning thing every year. Um,
Absolutely.
so I'm not one to do that. I'm bad about. I'm just throw it up and let it sit, let it fly.
But here's the deal. Even though she says she doesn't do that, she does have an idea of about some of the stuff that she knows were her hot sellers for Q2 and Q3, or what she knows is going to move in Q2 and Q3 because she's been selling for so long. So
Yeah.
there is some level of experience that comes with that puts her in like an automatic autopilot kind of mode, or maybe she
Yeah.
doesn't
And
always review her data, but it doesn't hurt to look at your data. Trust me, it doesn't.
yeah. And with me, with the thrifting and such, what I find this year is not going to be what I'll find next year. But I know what to look for and such. So, you know, it's not like retail arbitrage where when I did that, I knew I needed to go get all the Easter stuff and get the Easter stuff, listed and such.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Think about common replenishables and consumables that are going to sell in Q2 and Q3. So again, school is about to be out, believe it or not, regardless of how we feel about it. One, we're in spring break. For us, we're in the middle of spring break. So we know that the kids are going to eat us out of house and home. It may be too late for you, unless, depending on when your spring break is. Like if your spring break is April the 1st, you got time. But if your spring break is this week, like mine, like you don't have time. So parents were already trying to brace themselves for the run on the refrigerator and the cabinets. so, so they're going to buy this stuff in advance, and they're going to do the same thing for the summer. When it comes to those consumables, the kids are going to burn through the bags of chips and the Doritos. Plus, they're going to have maybe a lot more energy if they go outside. If we get them separate them from their electronics and give them outside activities, then of course, then they're going to eat a lot more because they were physically active. Or they're going to need snacks to maybe send to camp. Or if you're hosting something at your house and you're going to buy extra snacks because you're having, maybe the kids are going to, I don't know, build Minecraft cities together at your house. Like whatever it happens to be, groups of kids are going to be getting together over the summer. And that means their friends are going to be stopping by. And there's going to be a bunch of bicycles in your front yard. And they're going to be eating up everything in your house. So people are going to be buying those things. Think about that kind of stuff. Also think about the stuff that's happening in Q3, candy. So if you're a person who sources wholesale, like this is your opportunity to get those snacks and to also start preparing for Halloween candy, because Halloween is in well, it's not in Q3, it's in Q4. But again, people start thinking about Halloween in Q3. So the point is, think about those replenishables that people buy over and over again, the things that they need over and over again, the things that they're going to need on road trips. People are going to be buying things in bulk or multiples of it. So this can also maybe help you think about bundling opportunities that might present themselves in Q2 and Q3.
And
Anything
don't
else?
forget about, I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, don't forget about those Easter candy day after clearance sales to,
Yep.
for like I said, because then they put, for Easter, they come out with all these like lemon flavored stuff and springy kind of flavors of candies and such that only come out at Easter. And people want these year round, so they will. pay for it. But also remember for Amazon that the meltables deadline is coming up in May. So you can't sell anything that's meltable, chocolates, gummies, and such, after that date because it will be a disgusting mess by the time it gets to the customer.
Right. Unless you're planning on sending it with some dry ice or some ice packs or something, and making sure that I'm only going to ship to like Canada or something where the temperatures are not as hot as they are in Texas. That's a different story.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they wouldn't last long here down here. I
Mm-mm.
think I did some chocolate covered uh, cherries that I had put on Amazon one time. I put them on Merchant Fulfilled, and they sold in the middle of July. So I
Mm.
put those suckers in the freezer overnight before I shipped them the next morning. I was like, hopefully.
Send them with some ice packs. I will tell you, you can buy ice packs for dirt cheap at the Dollar Tree. Just want you to know that. And you can also buy them from a wholesale supplier. I think like Kohl's Imports, you can also buy them in bulk there. So if you plan on continuing to send the chocolates and you want to be that daredevil, make sure that you're sending it with ice packs and you're sticking it in the freezer before it goes out. That's for sure.
Starting niche research for Q3 and Q4. So, Q2, especially in the summer, the sales do kind of slow down. Just saying this is the truth. And, there's usually a slowdown during the summer because everyone's out doing vacations and out doing outdoor activities. So they're not in the stores online shopping as much. Um, So that will give you more time to kind of work up for getting ready for Q3, Q4. What's the trends going to be for back to school, Q3? What's the trend going to be for Christmas, Q4? So kind of look at those trends so you can see where you can go ahead and get that stuff before other people who are trying to jump on the trend after it started.
Right? This is that one opportunity for you to get a leg up on your Q3, Q4 preparedness. Use that time in Q2.
Yeah,
Start now.
look what movies are coming out at the end of the year. You can Google it and see. Oh, there's gonna be a new Batman movie coming out. Oh, I better get some Batman stuff up because Batman's gonna be selling again. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if there's a Batman movie coming. I haven't looked, but I was just came on my head. Someone's like, "Oh, Batman." No, I don't know if there's a Batman movie coming up. It just
We know that there's a couple of, I think there's another Marvel movie coming out. Of course, Shazam is coming out here in the summer. But yeah, it's just all of that stuff. But this is your opportunity to decide what kind of year you're going to have and start preparing and planning for your success because you're doing the research now. Take the slower time period to prepare to win in Q3 and Q4 because of the fact that you invested the time and energy in doing the research and sourcing. And the same thing with getting organized. This is your window. As Kelly said, Q2, sometimes things slow down. People are like, my sales are not as hot. They're not as heavy, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be things that are going to sell. There are. People are going to be buying a bunch of snack foods because they got a bunch of kids. People are not going to stop having kids. So they got a bunch of kids to feed over the summer. They got a bunch of kids to feed as soon as school's out. They got little parties to host because XYZ is moving from middle school to high school, or they're moving from elementary school to middle school, or they're going from kindergarten to first, to regular school. Like there's going to be those transitions. And so families are going to be getting together. There's going to be cookouts. People are going to be hanging out. 4th of July is happening. Like all of these opportunities. And you don't want to miss out on them. But if you are a hot mess, very disorganized, don't know what you're doing, don't know, what's selling, all that stuff, don't know what to source, then that's on you. And this is an opportunity to take that slower period of time to get a little more organized, to get a little more consistent, to start building those habits that will serve you very well in Q3 and Q4. So you do Q2. Take that window of opportunity to do that and to get organized. Get the My Ecom Planner. You can still get it. You can still get organized for the rest of the year. Go ahead and grab it. Anything else you want to add, Kelly?
That's one of the things I need to do. That's like, oh, that's just staring me right in the face, huh?
Yeah. Well, we hope you all will use this information to help you to get organized. Use this information to help you prepare to win in Q3. Use Q2 as your foundation for all of this. Like, start now on what to source, start now on what is going to be selling in those months, start now on thinking about your bundle opportunity, start now. So go back and listen to the replay, share this out with a friend, let somebody else know about the tips that we recommend that are going to help your cash flow ending Q1 and also the beginning of Q2. Finish Q1 strong, start Q2 strong, and set the foundation in Q2 for the rest of the year's success. You can do that. Just go back and listen to the replay and everything else that Kelly and I talked about. And let somebody else know about the eCom Sellers podcast so they can come back and listen to this again. For sure. All right. So we wanted you guys to know that we have a print on demand mastery that's happening. You can sign up right now. It's a live class. There are 11 sessions. And we're going to be covering everything soup to nuts that comes with doing print on demand. Print on demand is very expansive. And there's so many different ways in which you can do print on demand, but we invite you to sign up. One of the great things we're going to do is in session 11, we're going to be covering how to automate your print on demand business using AI. And so a lot of people are afraid of artificial intelligence. Some people are like, okay, I'm interested in it. If you're intrigued by it or you're looking for an automated way to make real money in your e-commerce business, print on demand is a great way. Aspects of print on demand are already automated. If you could take print on demand and automate more of it, another 50 to 75% of it, where you literally only work, because it's print on demand. You don't have to, if you choose the model of print on demand where you don't have a big screen printer in your house. You're not making stuff in your house. So you're not doing the handmade version of print on demand. Like, you're doing the automated where you're using suppliers and vendors. Then you're going to love this class, because we're going to take the rest of print on demand that is not automated, and we're going to automate no less than 75% of the non-automated part of print on demand. So, is it possible to run a successful, profitable print on demand business 1 hour a day or less? We're going to talk about it, and we're going to show you how to do that. And it's stuff that you can set up yourself. So you can go and sign up for the print on demand masterclass. You can go to bit.ly/ and this is all caps. It must be in all caps. POD mastery. Again, bit.ly/ all caps, POD mastery, so that you can sign up today. And so you can be part of this AI class that we're going to be covering in session 11, which is the bonus session. So sessions 1 through 4, just the start of it. We're meeting at 8 o'clock, not 7:30, just so you know. And it's Thursdays. So our next session is the getting started. We're going to be talking about getting your goals, setting your goals. Going to go through copyright, trademark, branding. Also, we're going to be going through talking about printables, downloadables, or digital products, physical products, and book products, so that you can lay the foundation on what you're going to do. In sessions 3 and 4, we're going to be 100% focused on and creating in class. We're creating in class. It's a hands-on class. We're creating your printable products, your digital products, your downloadable products in class. Okay. So you're going to go through the exercise of actually creating it in class live. Next, in session 5 and 6, we're going to be creating physical products in class. So we're going to go and do the research. We're going to create the listings. We're going to optimize those listings. We're going to go through the process of which vendors we're going to work with, how to do order fulfillment, all of that. In session 7 and 8, we're going to be 100% all books, everything around creating the book, listing the book, all of that research. What are the providers? And we're doing it in class. You're going to list it in class. So you're going to decide which vendor you want to go with, and we're going to list it in class. Session 9 and 10 is all about the administrative and traffic related activities, whether it is follow up with the vendors to find out, confirm that something has been received, follow up with customer inquiries, dealing with refunds and returns, inventory management. Even though there's not any real inventory that you're keeping track of, there are a few things that you need to do just to make sure that you're ready to rock and roll. You don't want to get into a situation where a supplier says, I no longer have, this particular shirt and this size with this thread count. And you're going, oh, I didn't know that. So don't be caught off guard. Don't be caught off guard. We're also going to be talking about using VAs to help you in your business. So if you want to take that remaining little 25% and have a VA do that, and you want to be hands off in your business, there's a way to be hands off. Now, I never recommend 100% being hands off, walking away. I mean, Oprah's not 100% hands off. She knows what's happening in her business. She's just not doing the work. So be like Oprah. Know what's going on in your business and let somebody else do the work. So we're going to talk about how to do that. We're also going to talk about paid traffic, how to run multiple accounts and selling on multiple platforms with your print-on-demand business, how to do bundles and variations, how to look at and work on bulk listings and also subscriptions. All of that. We're going to go through all of that. So this is an inclusive class. And of course, AI is the last session 11. So we just invite you to sign up. You could go again to bit.ly/ and this is all caps, POD Mastery. Again, bit.ly/ POD Mastery right now to sign up. Go do that. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. I have to remember to put a QR code on this video. As I said before, if you don't already have one, you need to go ahead and get the eCom Planner. It's created for sellers by sellers. This is your opportunity to get organized for the rest of the year. Stop messing around. Stop playing around. Stop messing up your opportunities to have an amazing Q3 and Q4 because you're a little disorganized. You're not really that focused. You're inconsistent. Get organized, get focused, get consistent. Get the My eCom Planner. Go to myecomplanner.com. Again, myecomplanner.com to get it today. Okay? Let me just tell you, if you sign up for the workshop, if you sign up for the mastery series, you're going to get the free digital eCom Planner. Okay? So you get the digital version of the eCom Planner, not the physical version, but you can still get an eCom Planner. So go get it today. And if you need some support on your e-commerce journey, you can sign up to ecomsellersacademy.com. Again, ecomsellersacademy.com. If you sign up for the lifetime, you get a free physical eCom Planner, like the book. We will ship you the book absolutely free. So you can join eCom Sellers Academy right now, join the lifetime, and get a free 2023 eCom Planner if you do so. So with that, I think that is everything. Let's take this off the screen. There we go. So yeah, daylight savings has got me all, I look sleepy. I look so sleepy, Kelly. But anyway, thank you, daylight savings in the U.S. We need some sleep. But in any case, my name is Nicole Whitlock.
And I'm Kelly, the eCom Mom Ward.
This has been the eCom Sellers Podcast. We do this every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, but you can come check us out because we're going to find a permanent time slot that's going to work for everybody for this podcast. Share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the eCom Sellers Podcast, and we hope that you'll tune in again next week for another episode of the eCom Sellers Podcast. We are going to say goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye.